Hello and welcome back to Grounded Conversations. For those who don't know, I'm Liv. So obviously, as you can tell by the title, today's episode is about kindness, which is something I've gone on about it a lot. But I think kindness is one of the most important and most valuable things that all of us can do every day, just make the world a little bit nicer and a bit of a better place. So I'm sure you all have a bit of an idea and definition of what kindness is. Long story short, it's just about being a nice, decent human being. For the definition of kindness, or at least one way to put it, kindness is saying that kindness is the act of being caring, compassionate, and generous to yourself and others. And I know a lot of the time, kindness can just seem like being kind to other people, but no, you have to be kind to yourself as well. Don't forget that. I've gone about it a lot. You need to be kind. You need to pour in your own cup first before you can give to others. So keep that in mind. Also, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but at the time of recording, it is November. So that, for those who don't know, November is Men's Mental Health Month, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do an episode about kindness. Because I do feel like being kindness can honestly have huge impacts, which I'll obviously go into later on. But just the act of being kind can help everybody, whether it's regarding men's mental health or women's, like anybody. Kindness is such a massive positive thing, and it can have so much impact for just doing the littlest thing. You're probably right, it's a bit random that I mentioned men's mental health, but I think it's important to talk about it because I was reading and I felt, right, let's get this straightforward. Obviously, I'm not a man. I'm a woman, but so I can't really talk about this topic to the extent that men probably can, because obviously I have experience the same as them. So in the description, I will leave a couple of podcast sources or just like a couple of links to go look over if you want to go learn more about it. And somebody else who can give you more in-depth about specifically men's mental health, because I think it is important to learn about. Because let's be honest, there is literally a month dedicated to it. So, but I saw a statistic online that said men are less likely than women to seek help for their mental health issues, and suicide is a leading cause of death in men under 50. So, just from that, you can tell it's such a massive topic, and just something that I wanted to mention before we get into everything about kindness. So anyways, as said earlier, kindness is the act of being caring, compassionate, and generous towards yourself and others, which obviously can have big effects. Just the act of being nice and a genuine human being can honestly make somebody's day, can honestly shift how somebody's feeling like that. Like in Cinderella, right? Just because this is something everybody knows about. Just because I wanted to you'll see, that doesn't matter. So in Cinderella, if Cinderella hadn't been all nice and caring and generous towards all the little mice and all the birds and all the animals that lived in her house, the fairy godmother wouldn't have bibbidi-boppidi-booed and given her a lovely gown so she can go off to the ball, meet her prince castle. So that's just one way, because I wanted to talk about how being kindness can have a ripple effect. So I just wanted to put I really wanted to just put emphasis on how just doing one little act of kindness a day can help others. Like, even think about last time somebody did something nice for you or did something kind to you, even if it's just like, oh, have a nice day, thank you, really appreciate it. Just like a compliment. Like when somebody tells you, oh, I like your hair, I like the shirt you're wearing today, it uplifts you, it makes you feel happier. Whether it's that or whether it's just other bigger acts of kindness, whether it's volunteering your time, there's loads of other things that can be classed as kind. I'm not going to bore you with a list because I'm hoping you have the moral compass to know what's kind and not kind. But even an example in my life. One of my friends always used to say to the bus driver, oh, thank you, have a nice day. And I always used to say thank you. But now I've started to say thank you, have a nice day. And what makes me feel better because I'm being kind. It makes me feel good about myself. And I hope it makes the bus drivers and other people feel better. And I hope it makes them be a little bit nicer. Maybe people behind me will also say have a nice day. It's just little things, whether it's just like a compliment, have a nice day, volunteering your time, anything can encourage other people to also spend time being kind. Because I feel like the world can be so negative, and just imagine a world where everybody was nice and kind and loving to each other. It would be such a different world. I know that kind of sounds a bit like a utopia. Like it's the very, very top possibility of something that will happen. Imagine a world where everybody's kind. Even if you just close your eyes a second, think about how the world would be if everybody's kind, everybody's nice to each other, everybody tries their best to be a kind, decent person. Which I hope you do anyways, because if you're living your life trying to be a bad person, reconfigure a little. But imagine that. And then think about how you can start doing that today. Whether it's just having more respect for people, just having a bit more patience, treating everybody as equals, because nobody's better than anybody else. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. That's it. Full stop. Fact is fact. We're all human. We're all human beings. Nobody's above anybody else. We all have feelings. We're all made of the same, matter. I'm not really sciencey, so that could be wrong. I think you get what I mean. We're all human. We all feel things. We don't go through the same experiences. We all have different lives, but the way we all feel emotion are so similar. And no human being is better than anybody else. Nobody's below anybody else. We're all human. Because at the end of the day, whether you have a better job than anybody else, you earn more money, whatever, that doesn't mean anything in the long scheme of things. And a lot of things is just, it all comes down to the root of who you are. Because if you do good in the world, you'll get good in return. I'm a true believer in that. And I don't think you should be living your life thinking, oh, if I do this one nice thing, I'm going to get a nice thing back. Because I think if you expect too much, then when you don't get what you expect back, it can sometimes be a bit more demoralizing than anything else. But I do think the positivity you put out in the world is what you get back. Well, and honestly, anything you put out in the world, you'll get it back. If you're negative, you're going to get negativity back. If you're positive, you'll get positivity back. And I'll go into that a little bit more later about the science of how kindness helps us. But I also think kindness matters so much when we are all struggling in the world, because as I was saying, just we are all human, we all experience emotions and the same things. Think about during COVID. Imagine if everybody had been a lot more mean and a lot more negative. And obviously, I'm not saying that we're all amazing and kind, because it's hard to stay positive and negative, and I'm not promoting toxic positivity and toxic happiness, because at the end of the day, we feel emotions. Sometimes having a really shitty day and you forget to say thank you. You're just like, honestly, I want to go home. Everybody fuck off. Get out of my way. Leave me be. Which is fine, because you also need to balance kindness and boundaries, which I'll also get into it more later on. But I think in times of need, in times where we feel alone, where we're struggling, kindness can be so powerful, because being kind and even being around your friend, even being around your friends and being a kind person, it opens up a bit of a safe space for them, and a space for people to be more vulnerable and open and feel like they can talk about mental health more. Because if you're negative all the time, your friends aren't going to come to you when they're like, look, I need help, can you help me? Do you want to be there for your friends, or do you want to be a negativity outlet where you all just complain, where you're not doing the best or being as nice as you can be to each other? Because if you're nice to somebody and they're nice back, and you trust them, then, and you have conversation about how you feel, communicate, it can build such positive and such lasting, strong friendships. And even with yourself, if you're patient, understanding, caring to yourself, it can honestly do wonders with how you feel and think about yourself. And obviously, everybody has bad days. I'm not gonna say we all feel kind all the time. There's some days where it's like, oh, I probably could have been kinder in that situation. I probably could have handled that better. And there's other days where it's like, actually, I think I was really kind with how I handled that. I think that was a great job. We're all human. We're not perfect. We're not robots. We're not running on anything at the end of the day. So just try your best to be kind. You're going to be better some days than others, because especially with the negativity in the world, it can be hard to kind of balance and sort through. And sorry, I keep knocking the chair. Like, especially when we're stressed, burnt out, possibly surrounded by negative people, which isn't always your fault. But if you are surrounding yourself around negative friends or people, you can do something about it. Consider leaving the environment to be with people you feel more happy around. But it's so hard to also be kind when you're trying to set boundaries, and I get that, because I feel like a lot of people think you can't be assertive and you can't say no without being kind, and it kind of turns into this people pleaser behaviour. And I think it's something we have to acknowledge, because you can be kind and you can set boundaries. It's just the way and the tone that you do it. So, like, let's say I was invited out somewhere. I didn't want to go for whatever reason. To be fair, if you don't want to go out somewhere, you don't need to have a reason. You can just say no. No is enough. Cool. But you could say, oh no, what the fuck, I don't want to do that, I'm too busy. Sounds a bit like, oh, right, what's the problem? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm really, really sorry. I'd really love to be there. Have a great time, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, different. You're still saying the same thing, just a different way and a bit more kinder the second time. I think it's just the way you treat people, and obviously treat everybody with respect. You're not better than anybody else. Nobody's better than you. We're all equal at the end of the day. And I know with a lot of things, it doesn't always seem like that. But we're all human beings. We're all, however you believe we're made, we're all made from the same thing. We all come from the same place. Spiritually, I guess, not like physically. So just treat people how you want to be treated as well. Like, do you want people to be like, no, what the hell, I don't want to come to your party, or, oh no, I'm really sorry, I hope it's great. It's just the little things, because it honestly has so much impact on how everybody feels. And like you saying it to somebody, and then like also the person receiving it. And so, right, let's have written this down, because again, not a science thing. So there's like, before you think, oh, kindness is just a random thing made up by humans to make everybody a little bit better at being a decent person. There's been scientific things on it. I can't remember the word. But anyways, scientists have looked into it, and they've found that when we're more kinder and receive kindness, there's an oxytocin and dopamine release, which, for those who don't know, are happiness hormones. I think dopamine's a happiness hormone anyways, and oxytocin, I think, is known as the love hormone. I don't know. Scientists, please fact check me and DM me, comment, whatever, because I want to check if that's right. But anyways, so when oxytocin and dopamine are released, apparently it helps lower stress, which helps you, because obviously you're less stressed. As the other person goes, oh my god, I'm happy now, less stressed. And I think in like nowadays, a lot of people are looking for like short-term dopamine fixes, whether it's like scrolling on TikTok. Oh, look at how many likes I got on Instagram. Just like short-term things that quickly fix it. Whereas kindness can actually like do so much more. It can be so much. It's actually like crazy how just like one small act of kindness really, like, literally changes your brain chemistry and changes your hormones, lowers stress, helps your heart health, which also right here. Kindness boosts serotonin and reduces anxiety. And practicing kindness regularly reduces chances of depression by 23%. So you can't really just like, oh, but people are stupid. People can be idiots sometimes. Which honestly, they can be. But if you just try to be kind, you're gonna feel better about yourself, and others are gonna feel better too. So why not at least just try to be a bit kinder, a little bit nicer to people in the world? And I'll do another episode at some point on the science around kindness, because I think it deserves an episode in itself. And I'll try to get somebody that actually does know science to talk to you about it, because yeah, barely passed science GCSE, so maybe let's not try it now. But also, I always wanted to talk about kindness on social media, So a lot of my audience are younger people, but even if you're not, well, first of all, hi. Also, everybody has a phone nowadays. Everybody uses social media to an extent, or at least knows of it. And social media can be kind of like a double-edged sword, because it can be really positive and uplifting if you're watching and involving yourself with the right things. But it can also be quite negative and demotivating about your self-esteem and confidence and stuff like that. But think about ways you can use social media for good. So an example of what I try to do is when I am scrolling on TikTok, which I do have like an hour, I have like an hours a day limit on TikTok and Instagram as well, which I find really helpful because it forces me to not spend my whole life on there. Because the 8 hour screen time on TikTok is a little bit, it's quite embarrassing actually. So the 1 hour timer is very much needed for me. But anyways, so when I am on TikTok, if I come across a video that doesn't have that many comments or whatever, I try and comment something nice and compliment the person in the video. Oh my god, your hair looks really nice. Oh my god, your nails are so cool. I love that t-shirt. I love the poster behind you. Just because it takes 2 seconds out of my day, it makes me feel happy because I'm being nice. And I hope it helps the other person feel a bit better about themselves. Because I don't see why it wouldn't. Because who doesn't like hearing nice things about themselves, let's be honest. So there's that also. Going back to Men's Mental Health Month, there's the whole Movember thing where people raise money for men's mental health, and I believe it's for mental health and men's mental health. Like it happens obviously in November, and people like grow a mustache or like do like moving like activity to help spread awareness for men's mental health and men's health overall, which happens mostly on social media. And that's just 2 ways that like social media can be positive. Obviously, we all know how negative social media can be. I don't need to explain that to you guys. But another couple of things that social media can be used to help be positive and good is the Be Kind campaign. Yeah, I think it's hashtag Be Kind. People like use this hashtag or Be Kind, whatever, to spread positivity online, and just even if like you post a video just doing something nice, a random act of kindness, it can help others maybe think that they want to do the same, or just like as I say, like commenting something nice, even if it's just on your friends, like, oh my god, girl, you look fire. Like I don't know whoever like last said that. I don't think that's just on my friend. She's like, oh my god, you look so cute. Your hair looks like slay. Anyways, I can't believe I just said that out loud. But anyway, there's also this amazing foundation called the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation, which has a website. Highly recommend you go check them out. Where they offer ideas and resources to inspire acts of kindness, and they post daily a random act of kindness. They have resources on there for kindness in school, work, at home. Highly recommend you check them out to look into being more kind. And I also think, if you can, a little challenge for you and me both, try and be a little more kind this week. Whether it's just like saying, have a nice day to your bus driver, thank you. Trying to compliment a different friend each day, seeing what you think is cool about them. Just isn't like just if you see somebody drop something, like if somebody accidentally drops their car, just like pick it up, run after them, give it them back. Holding a door open for somebody, even just smiling at somebody, but not in a creepy way. It's like yeah, I think you know what I mean. And just challenge yourself to find a different way to be kind every day, and also I think another important way to be kind is to just check up on people. Ask your friends, family, how are you? Are you okay? Talk to them about how their mental health is, how they're feeling at this point in life, because nobody's always happy. So it doesn't hurt to ask, like, oh, you're right, is everything okay? Just wanted to check. Hope you're doing alright, because it takes 2 seconds and either you're fine, or you can have a conversation about mental health and create a safe space there where you can both go talk about things you're struggling with, and just open up the conversation about mental health, which I think, especially with stigma around men, where it's just like, oh, men need to be strong, they can't cry, they don't have this, like, they don't struggle with mental health, which obviously the point of like November and Mental Health Month is to kind of like debunk those stigmas. I think even just having a conversation, be like, oh, how do you feel about this? Just bringing it up, just opening up the topic of mental health helps people open up a lot more and have a bit of a safer space and we want to be more vulnerable in. So in one way you could be more kind, or just a little act of kindness you could do, as it is Men's Mental Health Month, is to donate to somebody taking part in November, or even search November website and you can like go through donate that way, and it has more information on there about the whole point in it and about why people grow mustaches move during November, and just the importance of men's health, men's mental health. Honestly, if you search November, it should come up on Google. But you could donate if you have the money to. Share resources, even just talk to your friends about it, just having a conversation to your friends, family. And also, just before we finish up, kindness is contagious, so let's all try and spread it. If something kind happens to you, you're more likely to go and be kind and do something else, and it's like a domino effect and a ripple effect. Again, kindness is contagious, let's go spread it. So just want to leave you all with that. Thank you all so much for listening. I will be back in a couple of weeks' time. I can't remember what the date will be, but I will see you all soon. And you have a lovely, lovely couple of weeks. Remember to be kind. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening.